Hey everyone, welcome to today's webinar on marketing how-tos, automation, all that sort of jam. Wanted to thank all of you for joining today. I know there's still some of you joining as we get started here, and wanted to thank you for joining in such a busy time of the year. I know as tour and activity operators, it's primarily based in the USA, which I think many of you are. Now is the time when things ramp up and things get busy, and one of the more important times to really focus on how you're running your day-to-day operations, and looking at a wide view of your day and saying, what am I spending the most time on? What are the things that I like to do, and am I doing those things, or am I getting bogged down by booking platforms and transferring information, emailing customers, things like that. So we thought it was a good time to host a webinar kind of focused around the tools that we've been using over the past 4 years at TripWorks, tools that we've enjoyed so much and we've gotten so much use out of, that we've actually created API connections with them, so that our customers can use them as well, and use them automatically, so they never have to worry about files being uploaded, customer data being imported to other tools, and mostly to make you guys more money. So we're going to be walking through kind of our theory on automation and how we take that theory and use these three tools. And those three would be MailChimp, HubSpot, and Zapier to kind of scale tour and activity businesses. So my name's Caleb Eisman. I am the Director of Sales and Marketing here at TripWorks. We are a advanced booking platform that was introduced in early 2020. It was built starting in 2018. And we believe we really have a good platform, and we could dive into that after the webinar if you guys want to book some time with us at tripworks.com. But really, we wanted to focus this webinar more around you. We know that there's a lot of advanced operators out there that are pretty familiar with these tools. I know some close people with me at TripWorks that I've formed business relationships with that use these tools better than I do. So I'll give kind of a walkthrough of the basics really quickly, and my theory on automation. But I don't want to dumb it down too much for you guys, since I know that a lot of you are familiar with some of these platforms. So with that being said, I'm going to jump into when you should automate things in your tour and activity business, how to decide what things to go about automating, and then how to use those automations within these three primary tools. And we'll start with when to know and how to know what to automate. So there's really three simple rules that I use for trying to decide when to automate a task. And those three categories are: one, is it a task that you do frequently or on a schedule? This could be adding something to your calendar. This could be uploading customer photos to Dropbox or Google Drive to then send out to customers after they have thrown axes at your hatchet house or kayaked in your lake. And then number two is going to be, it's a task that involves moving information between apps. So if you're using a booking platform that may or may not be connected to one of these tools like MailChimp, and instead of using the API connection, you find yourself exporting and importing CSVs and throwing everything into Google Drive and trying to combine columns, that's something that you should really automate. In today's day and age, you really should have minimal time spent on exporting CSVs and re-uploading them into your booking platforms and software platforms like MailChimp. So number two, just to restate that, if it's a task that you do repetitively or on a schedule, that's really something you should look at, and you should try and get that task automated. Number three, it's a task that's repetitive and time consuming. So I see it all the time in my own life and in clients' lives. They're trying to run a business, they're trying to scale it, but it's very hard to scale it past a certain point because their time gets bogged down. So really scaling a business is not so much about making more money, it's about making more time for yourself to manage the company and be able to kind of take a breath and look at these processes that you've put in place and create new processes that can scale. So those are the three categories I like to use for deciding when I should try to automate something. So let's kind of dive into one of those tools right now, and that's going to be MailChimp. So let's jump into MailChimp, but before I do that, we'll go through a little bit about MailChimp, the pros and cons of MailChimp and the other platforms when I get to them. And then we'll kind of relate that back to that theme of knowing when to automate things. So we're going to send out these slides to everybody that's registered for the webinar, and anybody afterwards that wants a copy of this to maybe show their employees, or just a guide if you guys want to go about setting up these accounts. But let's jump into MailChimp first here, and then I'll give you a live example of something I would do on MailChimp if I were a tour operator, and then something I've set up for other tour operators. So why MailChimp? Purely the significance of email marketing in touring activities is huge. You have these booking platforms like TripWorks that send out abandoned cart communication, so trying to win customers back that didn't finish their checkout process with promo codes, offer codes, and things like that. You have reminders sending to people that have booked an activity with you 3 days before, 2 days before, a couple hours before, waiver reminders. All of those things are sending out. But most of those things, other than abandoned cart communication, lie outside of mass marketing and marketing in general. Those are really one-to-one emails, we call them in the tech world, rather than marketing communication emails. So what marketing communication emails are is a whole category of communication that is being sent to a list of your past customers, your database of leads, or triggered email sending based on a variety of different factors. So MailChimp makes it possible to re-engage your past customers and kind of capture their hearts in specific moments in time. So what I mean by that is maybe I want to send out a 10% off promo code to any past customer from the last 10 years when their birthday pops up. That's something I could do automatically while I sleep with MailChimp, and it only costs me $15 a month, and I can send that to as many people as I want on their birthdays. So this is why I wanted to touch on MailChimp first, because it really is a platform that aligns very well with tour and activity operators' needs in terms of marketing. So if I were to point anybody in the right direction of where to start your marketing efforts or what platform to primarily use for that, that would be MailChimp. The other good part about MailChimp is that it pretty much connects with any booking platform out there. TripWorks, we have a direct integration with MailChimp. So all of that data with birth dates and things like that coming from your waivers and your reservations is automatically flowing into MailChimp and into your workflows that are sending those triggered emails. So I know to some of you that haven't set up MailChimp or are new to this type of marketing, that sounded like a load of information that didn't make sense to you. So let me switch into MailChimp itself here and kind of give you an idea of what it looks like in here. So once you create a MailChimp account, you're going to have some different options up here. You're going to have your campaigns. So these are going to be your email and SMS campaigns. You can name them different things. For instance, if you wanted to send those birthday emails, you would call that birthday promotion. If you wanted another one that was just a newsletter or blog email, every time you write a blog post, you want to send that out to your whole audience, you could do that. You could have another audience that is all leads that fill out a subscriber form on your website or any other pop-up form. And then you could have activity-based campaigns. So somebody clicked a specific button on my website, and I think that shows that they might be interested in maybe booking a corporate outing at my tour activity venue. So you're going to have all of those different segmented campaigns in here, and then you're going to have your automations living in here. So automations really map out your customer journeys in the sense that you can create automations based on really anything. So like I was saying before, I started creating a draft automation here that's going to find birth dates in my data. And whenever somebody's birthday is coming up, we're going to get ready to queue up a special offer birthday email. So emails within MailChimp are super easy to create. It's free to create. And the cool thing about these is you can use what we call merge tags. So if you use a booking platform like TripWorks, you're familiar with what merge tags are. They customize what's in your email text-wise to the actual customer. So if I have somebody in my audience dashboard whose name is Caleb and his birthday is coming up tomorrow, this is going to say, Caleb, let us help make your birthday special. Kayak anytime this week for free. And then I hook this up to whatever booking platform I have. On TripWorks, we will let you create offer code buttons that will automatically apply this discount if they click this button. So if you want to give them buy one, get one free, if you want to give them 5% off, $10 off, maybe a half price gift card, you could do that through a button here. And this is the email that is going to send out and automatically trigger to send out when a customer's birthday or past customer's birthday is coming up. Cool thing about this is if you connect MailChimp to TripWorks, you never have to export or import anything into MailChimp. All of your customer data, all of your waiver data, all of your past customer data, it's all coming in and creating new contacts around the clock. So if we go back here to this customer journey, you're going to see 7 days before their birthday, I'm going to send this email special offer on birthday. It's titled, and you're going to add these contacts whenever their birthday comes up. So you can send more than one email if you want. You can also build in text messages if it's for customers that you know personally. Sometimes SMS is too personal to send out in mass, but email is pretty broad scope. So that's just one example of how to use MailChimp to your advantage. There's a good percentage of people that will come back through this. I've read some studies on the numbers from birthday emails, and it could be upwards of 18% of people will click on that book now button. And the open rates are sky high for these. So that's part of the reason I think MailChimp has implemented this into one of their customer favorite journeys. And it's super easy to go through MailChimp and look at their pre-built journeys. And like I said before, it pretty much connects with everything, and it's really strong. And this is not the only thing that MailChimp can do. For example, if you want to capture more leads through your website, a lot of tour and activity operators, they're really just marketing towards people that actually go to their website, they're on vacation, they want to book their kayak tour, and they're going to book that kayak tour if they want to book it. So that's really the tip of the iceberg. If you think about it, you have a lot of opportunity to market through blog posts and landing pages that hook up to different Google keywords that are hot in your industry. there's plenty of keyword data out there to develop those landing pages and other different marketing strategies. So MailChimp thought about that. They've added things like pop-up forms that you can create and just drop a line of code in your website. You can even space it out and say, if a customer hasn't scrolled but they're on my website for 10 seconds just staring at it, then pop up this subscribe form, and all of those subscriptions and customer info that comes through that potential customer info will go right into MailChimp, and you can have a different campaign for those leads that come in there. So that's a quick overview of MailChimp. I really think it's a tool that's designed well to the scope of what we're trying to do in tours and activities, through our website capturing new leads, through our blogs trying to capture keywords, and Google ranking online. And obviously the automation piece, which I think is the most important here. And it's cheap. I'm about to go into a tool that is my personal favorite, HubSpot. But we're going to go through the pros and cons of it, because one of the cons is it's not as cheap as MailChimp. So now that we've covered MailChimp, let's jump into HubSpot. So like MailChimp, HubSpot's going to have what we call workflows. Workflows are things that help you automate tasks. So for example, at TripWorks, we use HubSpot workflows so that when somebody goes to self-sign up or start a trial account on our website and they want to build out the information in the booking platform on their own, they're going to get a series of emails over 20 days after they sign up, guiding them on how-tos on using the platform, how to set up their settings within the platform, and then cool things that they might not have known existed in the platform, like our mobile check-in app, our waiver system, our hero photos, email templates, text messaging, things like that they might have not found if it weren't for those emails triggering to send through HubSpot. So we'll walk through the pros and cons of HubSpot. The pros, it is the most heavily customizable CRM tool probably in existence, at least the most palatable one in terms of using it and user friendliness. Their support team is amazing, and they integrate directly with TripWorks and some other booking platforms. And just like MailChimp, all of your customer data, whether it's past customers, current customers, people that have booked for a couple weeks from now, it's all going to live in HubSpot automatically. Like MailChimp, they also have landing page creation, form creation, email template creation, merge tags, everything like that. But on top of that, they also have one-to-one emailing, so they'll connect to your actual Gmail, so you could email right through HubSpot. You can track reporting and analytics on your website. You can create as many forms as you want. So if you're hosting an axe throwing tournament 2 months from now, you can do all of your promotion through it on HubSpot. You can create the landing page for your axe throwing tournament. You can create the sign up form for it. You can then trigger a series of emails and texts to send to people that sign up for that. And you could space these out based on time or customer activity. So maybe you want to send an email automatically 5 days before the event, or you want to send a certain email if the registrant has clicked this specific button. So I won't get too into the weeds on it, but I will kind of show you guys a walkthrough of HubSpot. The only con here is HubSpot. You really have to pay to play. So HubSpot's a more expensive tool. It's kind of an enterprise tool. We use it at TripWorks as our kind of primary driver for the business. We manage all of our sales and marketing contacts through the system, and we've really enjoyed it, especially because of the customer support. They really are super helpful and super knowledgeable if we ever have questions. So I'll go through, here's some of their workflow templates. You can re-engage cold leads or inactive customers. So if somebody hasn't come in 3 years and they visited your facility 3 times before those 3 years, maybe you want to re-engage them, see what they're up to, remind them that you exist. Things like that are all good. You can assign tasks to team members whenever there's a new corporate outing that's interested in coming to your venue. And these are all things that can be used for your special events that you have. You can also welcome new blog subscribers. So send them an email welcoming them, and have that email be personalized to their first name, their business name, the group they're booking in, things like that. So let's pick one of these and jump into it. So let's use this anniversaries template. So an anniversary template means that for tour and activities, maybe somebody visited your facility 1 year ago exactly. And it was the first time they've ever visited. So I can go through this enrollment trigger. What an enrollment trigger is, it's basically something that says this is where that lead or that past customer is going to qualify to enroll in this workflow that's going to end up sending them that email or that series of emails. So if the person in my contact list became a customer more than 364 days ago, but less than 366, which if you do the math, it's 365 days, then we're going to send an email. So all I need to do here is click send email, and I can go through any of my emails here. You could see like the invite to this webinar that you're on right now was one of the email templates we created. And we can choose any audience to send it out to, or we can trigger people based on if they've clicked our emails in the past or if they've joined a meeting to enroll in this workflow. So super responsive, super easy to use, and kind of self-explanatory. That's what I love about HubSpot, as opposed to having to drop lines of code in my website and all that jazz. Super intuitive, and you can even see the activity of the contacts that are in the workflow. There's also settings to make sure you're not spamming people. So you can make sure that they're not enrolled in multiple workflows at a time. And you can also limit them to certain campaigns. So if you're trying to market an event to corporate clients, you can have them in a certain campaign and make sure that they're not getting your regular marketing emails. You can set goals for your team. So this is something I recommend doing, especially if you have a tech person or a marketing hire that's dedicated to these tools and trying to grow your automations. You can set goals for them, and they can be based around conversions. They can be based around clicks, open rates, new customers that go through a HubSpot landing page. It can all be tracked in here. So that's a quick touch on one of my favorite parts about HubSpot. They also have a pretty kick-ass landing page creation. So if you want to have a landing page for your upcoming corporate event, or your season's opening and you want to send a blast out to all of your past customers that have filled out a waiver, you could do that right in here. And when you create a landing page through HubSpot, you're going to be able to see anybody that fills out a form on that landing page. So let's look at the landing page for today. This was the one we made for the webinar today. We didn't put in any goals or anything because we just want to share our insights. But if I click edit here, you can see how easy it is to edit this email template here. I have a customized header that I built in Canva, which is another great tool I won't touch on today, but that's easy to put in. And then you have this form block. So you could name this webinar registration form or season opener registration form, or subscriber form. So this could be for your newsletter sign up on your website. And you could see all of the fields that we put in here. We can make them required for people that are filling it out to fill out, or we can make it optional. And then we could customize things like button text. We can put a thank you page or redirect to another page when they submit it. All super easy and super self-explanatory here. So that's kind of what I like about HubSpot. And that's, like I said before, the tip of the iceberg. MailChimp is kind of more focused around pop-up forms and strict marketing, but HubSpot's going to be everything from team management to automating alerts to your team members to creating funnels for corporate clients and large group outings, maybe school trips, things like that, all the way to these marketing things like triggering emails to send, triggering text messages to send. And like MailChimp, it's going to connect to most platforms out there. We have a direct integration with HubSpot on TripWorks. So I would say, in my opinion, if you have the budget to use a tool like HubSpot, if you have a couple $1,000s in your marketing budget, or you want to increase your marketing budget, I would go with HubSpot. I think they're awesome, and they're always innovating the product. And like I said, their support is rock star. So I'll end the HubSpot conversation there and quickly jump into Zapier, which is going to be the last tool that we introduce here. So Zapier, if you want to get into the weeds of Zapier, you could pretty much do anything with it. On Zapier, you create what we call zaps. Basically, it takes data from any tool out there. It converts that data into something that is digestible by another platform. So say you had a booking platform like FareHarbor and they didn't integrate with HubSpot. You could use Zapier, create a zap that takes your data from FareHarbor and then imports it in a way that HubSpot understands so that you could then trigger those emails. Luckily on platforms like TripWorks, we've thought about this long and hard. So we've created these API connections with Zapier, MailChimp, HubSpot, Twilio. All of these integrations live right inside of the platform. So all you have to do is click activate in TripWorks, and you could set up all of these. So if I go back into my settings tab here within the TripWorks platform, I could see some of the things I can connect to: Google Calendar, Google Ads, Analytics, Facebook ads, and then you have MailChimp, Zapier, and HubSpot back there if you want to connect that as well. So all you have to do is click activate. It will sync with your MailChimp account, your Zapier, your HubSpot, and ask what list you want your TripWorks leads going to. And then you can make all of these automation things happen. Really, the scope of today's conversation is kind of pressing you guys on how your marketing strategy is doing, what it looks like right now. And especially going into busy season, you have an opportunity right now to get your processes in the right place before you get so busy that you want to pull your hair out. That's not the way business was supposed to be for you guys. You got into what you're doing probably because you enjoyed it and it was your passion. So we want to help you guys take back as much time as you possibly can. At TripWorks, and the team here is really dedicated to implementing these tools for you guys and making your lives easier, because we know that's how you scale. You're gonna scale not by working harder but working smarter. I'm sure it's good to be gritty and work 12-hour days once in a while, but it's really key in 2023 to unlock these tools and kind of unleash your time. You can make somebody the owner of all of these tools in your marketing efforts. And if you spend enough time training them on these tools and working with them on what your goals are as a company, they could be really successful at using these. And like I said before, our team at TripWorks, if you're looking for a booking platform or looking for a platform that's going to help you automate these tasks and set up these accounts, we'd be happy to do so, because we've seen a lot of our clients start using marketing methods like these, And what was one location a couple years ago is now a franchise. So we're really excited to set up these processes for anybody that's interested. And if you are interested, just go right to TripWorks.com and either start a free trial account to check out all the tools we've built, or book a demo with us. Like I said, my name's Caleb Eisman. You could also speak to Christian Bullock, who's also on our team here. But all of us are knowledgeable on these products on our own platform, and we'd be eager to have you pick our brains or help set up these platforms. But most of all, just have a conversation before your seasons get busy and everything gets out of whack time-wise, on how we can make the busy season easier for you and more profitable. So that's our spiel. That's our webinar for today. I hope you guys kind of got a glimpse of these 3 tools and some insight onto what's contained in each of these 3 tools. So with that being said, I'll cut it off to questions, and we will follow up with you guys with these slides, the info that we gave you today, and we hope to see you on a demo or talk to you in the future and on our next webinar next month. Thanks.